Little Jimmy Dickens, standing just under 5 feet tall, was a giant on the Grand Ole Opry stage. Known for rhinestone suits and an infectious smile, he became one of country music's most beloved performers over 7 decades. Fans adored him as the comic relief with heart, the man who always brought laughter, even in the darkest times. But beneath the glitter and jokes was a man who carried his own burdens. In his final years, whispers about his health, finances, and career choices began to surface. What really happened to Jimmy Dickens? Humble beginnings in West Virginia, born James Cecil. Dickens in 1920, Jimmy grew up in the coal fields of West Virginia. His childhood home was small, overcrowded, and lacked electricity. The family's radio became his window to the world, where he discovered the music that would shape his life. Hearing Jimmie Rodgers for the first time ignited a spark in young Jimmy, inspiring him to pursue a musical career. By high school, he was performing on local radio, traveling from town to town with his guitar. Even in these early years, his stage presence and ability to connect with audiences were apparent, finding his voice on the grand stage. In the late 1940s, thanks to encouragement from Roy Acuff and Nashville mentors, Jimmy joined the Grand Ole Opry. His small stature led some to treat him as a novelty or comedic sidekick, but Jimmy turned this perception into a strength. With songs full of humor, he made the audience laugh with him, not at him. His unique voice, quick wit, and willingness to poke fun at himself quickly made him indispensable. Despite his rising fame, Jimmy quietly carried the pain of being underestimated, facing long nights wondering if the applause would ever fade. The rise of a rhinestone icon. Over the decades, Jimmy Dickens became a fixture in country music. Touring tirelessly, appearing on television, and mentoring younger artists, he created a legacy few could rival. His rhinestone suits and high-pitched vocals became instantly recognizable. Yet, behind the smiling face and endless energy, darker forces were at work. Managers, promoters, and accountants began influencing his career and finances. While Jimmy remained focused on entertaining audiences, some individuals quietly manipulated his money and bookings, ensuring he stayed busy while losing track of his own affairs. Shadows in the final years. By his 80s, Jimmy's declining health became noticeable. Missed rehearsals, confusion over schedules, and moments of frailty suggested something more than typical aging. Close friends and insiders began noticing a pattern. Jimmy was being sidelined. Those who had once supported him started taking over crucial decisions. Bank account access shifted, properties were sold or transferred, and performance royalties were managed without his clear consent. The legendary performer, who had spent decades building his career, was slowly losing control of the empire he had created. Dubious estate decisions. One of the most troubling developments involved Jimmy's estate. Historic properties in Brentwood and extensive collections of stage costumes were sold or transferred months before his death. Though the paperwork appeared legitimate, questions arose about Jimmy's ability to authorize such transactions at age 94. Even his final will surprised some family members, heavily favoring individuals who had gained influence over him late in life. Longtime friends and some relatives were excluded. Despite a lifelong reputation for generosity, his final arrangements left many shocked, prompting whispers of exploitation and manipulation. Signs of financial manipulation evidence emerged suggesting financial exploitation in Jimmy's last years. Legal documents were quietly updated, and decisions regarding his earnings and properties were made without full understanding on his part. While some believed Jimmy simply trusted those around him, others suspected he was being steered into choices that benefited opportunistic insiders. Investigations into elder financial abuse were raised but never fully pursued. What became clear was a pattern. The very people entrusted with his care may have prioritized their interests over his autonomy, taking advantage of declining health to control his legacy. The hidden cost of fame. Jimmy's life had always been public, but the private toll of fame became starkly visible in his later years. While audiences saw laughter, energy, and timeless music, he quietly endured moments of isolation and doubt. Years of non-stop touring and performance left little room to manage his affairs or question decisions being made behind the scenes. The same community that had celebrated his career was also a setting where his influence gradually eroded. Promoters and advisors, rather than supporting him, sometimes acted as gatekeepers, controlling what Jimmy could do and how his estate was handled. A life of dedication and sacrifice. Despite challenges, Jimmy continued performing and mentoring even as age and illness took a toll. His commitment to country music never wavered. He remained a symbol of joy, resilience, and dedication to craft, inspiring generations of performers. But the contrast between his public persona and private struggles illustrates a harsh reality. Legacy can be both celebrated and exploited. Even a man of such talent and spirit was vulnerable to manipulation, revealing the hidden vulnerabilities of aging icons. His story serves as both inspiration and caution. The aftermath and legacy. Jimmy Dickens passed in 2015 at the age of 94, leaving behind a legendary career and an unsettled estate. Questions about the handling of his final years continue to surface. While no crime was formally prosecuted, the narrative of exploitation remains compelling. Family members, fans, and whistleblowers are now working to protect his legacy. A foundation has been proposed in his name, aimed at preserving the memory of country legends and preventing similar exploitation in the future. Jimmy's influence on country music remains undeniable, now accompanied by lessons on trust, autonomy, and the cost of fame. Restoring a legend today, efforts are underway to honor Jimmy Dickens properly through foundations, archival projects, and recognition of his musical contributions. Fans hope to safeguard his story from distortion. Though manipulation and exploitation marred his final years, his artistic legacy shines through. He taught audiences to laugh, to persevere, and to find joy in every stage of life. Jimmy may have been small in stature, but the lessons from his life and career are monumental. His story reminds us that true legacy is measured not only by fame, but by integrity, impact, and the memories left behind for future generations.